And this is A B Convos Wrestling Edition. Welcome everyone to the most must-see wrestling review and live reaction show on YouTube. Welcome to A and B Convos Wrestling Edition. And this is our 1 year anniversary! What's going on, everybody? I see we got Quantaven in the house. Jody, baby, Rhea.
What's up?
Man, Notorious Jalen, baby.
What's up?
What's up, Dro? Hey, everybody. What's going on, Tamira? Man, look at the love. Carmelina, Jody. Oh, my gosh. Sean. Aaliyah Hanson's in the house. Everybody, round of applause.
Hey,
Aaliyah Hanson. We got Mary in the house.
Morris Reigns.
Man, that's okay. It's okay, Morris. We got you, man. We got you. Thank you so much. Woo! Man, what's up? Shayla's in the house.
What's up, Shayla?
Everybody, come on now. Give it up to Shayla. Give it up to Shayla. What's going on, people? Well, what can we say?
Man. Raw was something else last night, was it not?
Yeah, okay. So we all know. Okay, let's just talk about the elephant in the room. All right. Well, first of all, before we do that, just so you know, it is kind of tough to get to all of the comments. We do our very, very best to try to answer everybody, speak to everybody as best as possible. So if you want your comment highlighted, and we can talk about that, please do the super chat. That's going to be a lot easier for us to see it, to highlight it, and we will definitely make sure that gets mentioned. Now that that's out of the way, so Raw has sucked. For lack of a better word, the last several weeks. It has not been great. It's been rematch city. But last night wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad. I didn't think it was too bad.
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we watched the tag match, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke. That started slow.
It started slow. I really thought Trinity was actually moving in slow motion at first. I was like, did I actually hit the slow motion button? But it picked up. I feel like sometimes at the beginning of the match, like everybody's just like trying to not hurt anybody and try not to mess up their moves so they don't just get into it. But I felt like once they got their momentum going, that it was a decent match. It was better than I thought it would be.
New outfits for Mandy and Dana. I don't know if I love it. So we'll have to see. We know they've both had their individual wardrobe malfunctions. Hopefully their abilities are contained.
I feel like their outfits are a little Amazon inspired, almost like they watched the Justice League and saw like the Amazon women and were like, let's kind of put some like old ropes in there or something like that. But
now let me ask y'all this question. Somebody says, I don't know how you watch 3. It's a 3 hour, you call it a 3 hour bore.
Yeah, it's been hard lately. But I mean, it's funny too, because a lot of the times you're hoping just to see certain people, certain segments. Everybody's hoping that they're going to see The Fiend. I actually have given up hope. Am I the only person? I've really given up hope. I would be so shocked to see The Fiend. I don't even...
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even know if he's coming back, man.
We had Alexa. So before we saw Alexa's Playground, we had the match, Shayna Baszler against a sommelier Reginald. All in all, because we have been saying Reginald shows some skills, stop hopping around the ring like a luchador, and he actually did show some stuff.
Well, I really didn't think that he was going to put his hands on a female. I'm wondering if because Shayna's a little tougher, she's a little tomboy, if that's what you're allowed to say. I'm not quite sure how to say that. She's a little studdy, you know what I mean? and because she's MMA, maybe he felt like more comfortable with it, but he definitely actually put his hands on her a few times, which I hadn't actually really seen him do in any of his matches in the past.
Now, for me, we had a little controversial ending. Okay, we had a fireball. Once again, Shayna wasn't feeling it. Got the roll up. 1, 2, 3. He went clean, right? Shayna's not feeling this, But then we get to Alexa's Playground, and clearly Lily feels some type of way about Shayna.
Right. And and not only does Lily feel some type of way about Shayna, but Shayna now feels some type of way about Alexa Bliss and Lily. So, and I really didn't see anybody calling Alexa out because she is just bat crap crazy. Yeah. So you don't really think that you're going to go and drink out of that well, but Shayna sure did go to the playground and like, what's up, you know?
Now, we have some mixed comments. We have some mixed feelings here about this. On. Some people think the Shayna, Lily, Reginald thing is just a bunch of boo-boo. Reginald did the best he can. So it's I don't know. What's up, Kevin Marcano? Thank you, Nadia. Congratulations on the 1 year. We appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
Dro, your question, you want to see what's a dream match, Universal World Heavyweight title match as Roman Reigns versus John Cena. You know what? At this juncture, if Roman Reigns did face John Cena, I think John Cena would lose. I think he would lose cleanly, put him over. That would be that, Dro. So I would definitely say that much. Thank you so much, Aaliyah, for that well wish. We really appreciate that. We did see, now Tamir, you did ask about Damian Priest. We did see him backstage.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is that, so we saw him backstage, and then week before we saw him cut a promo about being on the road, and basically his backstage today, last night was another promo about being on the road. And can anybody else, like, they cannot figure out what to do with Damian Priest. They can't figure it out. I don't know what's wrong with the writers. You already rehab the same stuff going on time and time again. And to be honest with you, a feud between RKO and Damian Priest would be great.
But it's not going to happen.
But that's not. But I'm saying they're not. I don't see it happening. It would be awesome. Would have been great. It would have been good.
What's up, Sarah Next Anime? Welcome in. No, that would be good. Yeah, honestly, I almost feel like he should go. He's not going to go back to NXT, but he did so much better. He actually wrestled almost every week. He had legit competition. Right now, we've said this so many times. We just hate seeing what we love about these superstars on NXT just get washed away to nothingness. Like Shayna consistently taking the L and jobbing to all these people, especially Reginald. I don't want to take anything from Reginald. He's been entertaining and all, but come on, dude. You're better than this. You're better than this. But maybe next week, like you said, Shayna, Alexa, little fisticuffs here.
Well, what's going to happen with that? It's not like they're going to let people lose to Alexa. Well, if the writers of WWE are dumb enough to let people lose to Alexa, to lose her fear factor, the same way they messed up the Fiend and had the Fiend losing to people when he was supposed to be a demon. Why would a demon lose to a human? Like, it didn't make any sense. He was supposed to be so scary, and they just messed him up and then totally screwed him. Like, where is he? And Alexa's fine, but she doesn't replace the Fiend for me. It's not the same. And I just fear they're going to do the same thing. Alexa should never be losing. So if she's going to take on Shayna's not going to win. If she does, oh my gosh, I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad.
Oh, thank you, Alexis. We really appreciate the love and support you always show us. So thank you so much for that. All in all, as far as Raw goes, we already know that it's kind of unfortunate. Your boys, the New Day, Kofi did not get his rematch, and it looks like he is still not getting his rematch because Drew McIntyre will be facing Bobby Lashley at Hell in a Cell. I'm going to say this much. I want this to be done. If Drew does not legitimately defeat him, I want no more. Yeah. For a while. Yeah. Somebody else needs to step up and face Bobby Lashley. If he doesn't win, I almost want to see Drew do a heel turn.
Yeah, the thing is, though, I think that we also get really impatient in WWE these days because don't you feel like back in the day, feuds went on for a long time? Think about how long Roddy Piper and Hulk Hogan feuded against each other. Like, you know what I mean? It was feuds kind of lasted for a while, and I think we do get played out on them a lot faster these days, especially because they kind of do use the same people over and over again. And I think, I think it's the same thing with everyone feeling that way about Charlotte.
See, now we got some
Rhea.
people here feel the same way. Kofi should have won. I mean, Bobby will end the feud. This is like the 8th or 7th time we got Bobby versus Drew. Tamira.
Right.
This is what I'm talking about right here. I mean, do you think Dolph will win Money in the Bank? No.
No, I don't.
No.
I don't see them giving Dolph another run like that. I don't care what colorful stuff he adds to his hair. I don't see him. I just don't see him getting another run, to be honest with you, to that extent. I mean, he's entertaining, but when he doesn't show up, I'm not like, hey, where's Dolph either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We got Drew's one of the top baby faces in the company, so he can't turn heel. And yes, but he's a Scottish psychopath for a reason. And we saw Sheamus turn heel. What is he? A champion.
Right. And speaking of Sheamus, how do you guys feel about what's going on with Ricochet? Because let me tell you, we were thoroughly entertained. So Ricochet switches up his he's no longer the superhero, right? And you're not really going to think of Ricochet like a bad boy, even if he puts on a leather jacket. But what he did when he took his hat and his coat and was like mocking him and went out there, then even though he lost, he gave Sheamus a fight we did not think that he was going to bring.
Yeah.
I was very impressed, and I'm very excited because I feel like I see doors opening for Ricochet now that they have not figured out how to open this whole time.
Thank you, Spiky, for the love on that one. We really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's our anniversary.
Who's winning Money in the Bank? Should Brock Lesnar return? Who do we want to see face Roman at Hell in a Cell? That's CJ Gamer. What's up, CJ?
What's up?
We know Hell in a Cell ends feud, so Charlotte 2 will lose. Oh, Sarah X Anime thinks Charlotte's going to lose. Okay. Do you think Jimmy and Jay may capture the SmackDown Tag Team Championships? You know, I'm gonna say this. If they're smart, yes. I think they should. I would hate to see them win it just yet because I really feel like the Mysterio should have a little longer of a run. Like they just made history, first father and son team. Just give them that space.
Yeah.
Give them that space.
I don't think they're going to win it yet anyway.
I don't want to see it. I think ultimately they should.
The family feud has got some playing out to do.
Yeah.
We haven't even had Jimmy and Jay really collide. We haven't had Jimmy and Roman really collide. We've had a few awkward conversations, right? Mm-hmm. We've had a few I ain't your bitch moments, but this feud has got to actually turn into a feud, and it's got to actually be some pay-per-views. Yeah. So you're not going to see them with championship gold now. That doesn't make sense to me because they have to go through this whole thing. I don't even think Roman would allow them to win the gold.
See, and that's where I have the problem. Why is your boy hating like this?
We're not talking about Roman right now. We're talking about
you just brought him up. You just said Roman. I heard it. Okay? Hang on. I heard it. All right? Why is your boy hating? He should want all of his Usos.
Did you hear what he said? He wants Jay to be main event, Jay Uso. He doesn't want him to get lost in the twin thing again. He doesn't want him to be, But
by his own definition, he said the Usos are one of the most decorated tag teams in WWE history.
Yes.
You should want what MVP wanted for the Hurt Business. Everybody to be dripped in gold on top of the mountain.
And maybe he would if Jimmy was on board, but he's not.
So you're going to hold back this possibility? You're going to hold back them trying to get championship gold?
What y'all think? What y'all? Let's go to the comments. Let's go to the comments.
Y'all drop some comments in there. Dro, dream match, Universal Heavyweight title match, Roman Reigns, John Cena needs to happen. It could happen, Dro. We know John Cena's supposed to make him return once he's done with what is that? Splash or
what is the name of that show?
Wipeout, the show Wipeout that he's doing. He might be back. I don't even know. Yeah, you're right, Tamira. We are being a little impatient, probably. So you could be right about that.
I think she said I wouldn't say impatient.
Wouldn't say impatient. Let's see, John Cena putting his career on the line, going against the match against, Marcus, if Cena does put his career on the line, at this point, doesn't even matter. We already know he's retired.
What career?
Let's say so exactly.
Oh, career in wrestling? He doesn't have a career in wrestling.
Thank you, Dro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jimmy versus Jay, Hell in a Cell. That would suck, but that would be so awesome. But I almost feel like it needs to happen.
I kind of feel like that's going to happen.
If Jimmy's going to fall in line, Jay has to win. And if Jay wins, then it's okay. Now we're just behind Roman. That's the only way. Because right now, Jimmy's not having it. He's not having it, Oos! It's true. You guys, Zolf Ziggler had to deal with Katarina Waters, aka winner of Impact Wrestling. No, we did not know that. We did not know that. All right. Now, the Demon versus the Fiend at SummerSlam. Mateo, that would be a killer match. Oh,
gosh. And we haven't seen the Demon for a while either. We haven't seen the Demon since the Fiend beat him and sent him back to NXT. So that would be so amazing.
Mm-hmm. Kevin Owens is going to get a rematch against Apollo Crews. Do we want to see that? You know what? I feel like this is really the first time since The Miz had the Intercontinental Championship that it's on an elevated level. And it's not that Kevin Owens isn't good, but he's been coming up short. So I don't even feel like it's an underdog story anymore. I just feel like there should be somebody else to step up that could possibly really legitimately challenge Apollo and get this title. Right now, I don't think it's going to be Kevin. I don't see it. I'd almost rather have Sami Zayn come back into this.
That's true. I don't know why that died off so quickly. Sami Zayn is so entertaining.
Graham D from Scotland. What's going on, Graham?
Hi.
Thank you, Manu. Thank you, Manu. We really appreciate that. Roman needs to be happy. Roman's never happy. That's the problem. Your boy's never happy. Okay, I'm still mad I broke up the Hurt Business. Who isn't? Who isn't? It shouldn't have happened.
Mm-mm.
And now, once again,
it was so dumb.
Cedric comes up with the win. So we had Shelton 1, Cedric 2. How many times are these guys going to fight? I mean,
Nobody cares about that
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're getting relegated to them fighting each other. No championship gold, no tag team gold, no Hurt Business, no nothing. Do we care? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Since when Jay main event anything? Since going over Cedric?
Well, Jay main evented everything. He just lost every time. So, like, every time a pay-per-view was coming up, whoever Roman was fighting was main eventing against Jay.
Yeah.
But Jay lost every time because they had to make it look like, of course he can't beat Jay, because if Jay beat the person, then they're not going to be able to beat Roman. So
now check this out.
He wasn't winning, but he was still main eventing.
Now check this out. Marcus Brown. The Usos as tag team champions are tribal chief universal champion. Tamina and Naomi as the women's tag team champions. What do y'all think? Put it to us, put it to Alita, CJ Gamer, everybody. Let me tell you what we think.
Come on.
We think they once again are not capitalizing on the tribe correctly.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for you to have a bloodline story, but to have your bloodline spread out. Mm-hmm. No sense at all.
I miss Jay Uso shouting, "What are you doing out here, DP?"
What?
Graham says, I miss Jay shouting, "What are you doing out here, DB?" I'm gonna get him. I mean, I don't know. All in all, we're not really feeling it. RK was now RK Bro. Shayla, are you feeling that? Or you feel they seem to really? Everybody's been like, when's he gonna do it? When's he gonna do it? When's he gonna RKO him? It hasn't happened.
No, it's not. It's gonna. They have a little
happened.
while to go. I think they'll be champs for a while at some point.
Roman Reigns needs a state that the fans will acknowledge him. Tell me some states in you. I mean, I don't know, Dro. That's a good question. I think he gets love and he gets booed, but ultimately this is the Roman everybody loves to hate. Because this is the guy that we wanted all this time, especially after leaving.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't get it wrong. He'll tell you. We were live in person watching shows where half the audience was booing Roman, and we were right there. I'm cheering him the whole time. I've always been a Roman fan. Like I said, it did not matter to me if he was in the Shield. It didn't matter after the Shield broke up when everybody hated him, was booing him. I've always been a Roman fan. Like, his bloodline is his bloodline. He is a badass. I don't care what anybody says. And I always thought he could back up his words. He did need to prove on the mic, which he has.
Tremendously.
He has turned it really low,
Tremendously.
though. Really, really, really low when
Extremely.
he talks. So he's now a low talker, but he still gets his point across, and he's so entertaining. So I love it. You know what would be awesome? Jimmy and Jay face each other in Hell in a Cell, and the outside interference is their younger brother who comes over and joins WWE.
I don't know about that. I mean, because he's just going to be wasted. They're not bringing the tribe in like they should. But that's cool. That's cool. All right. So that's one thing. I do kind of want to talk about what happened. I don't know if we have a lot of WWE fans here. As you know, we had some former WWE.
Wait, before you do that, should we just go ahead and address the Charlotte and Rhea thing and every?
Oh yeah. Charlotte and Rhea, and let's not forget Nikki. Throw a little pinch of Nikki in there.
I can't with Nikki. Like, she's just so little, and she's just blah, and she's just not threatening, and she's just not. I don't understand. They've let so many talented women go. I don't get the Nikki thing. I'm sorry, I don't get it.
She hates.
I'm not hating.
Such a hater.
I'm being honest. I don't get it. There's no pull. There's no, you know me, like the same thing I kind of said about Cesaro. Like, at least I could say, but Cesaro's really strong and talented, but he doesn't have the it factor. I feel like he's kind of stepping it up a little bit. And I loved when him and Sheamus were together. See, when him and Sheamus were together, they had it. They had the bar. They had their style. They demanded your attention.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really felt like he did that on his own. Nikki, they have tried to elevate her with Alexa. They've tried to elevate her by herself. She doesn't have it. She doesn't have it.
You know what? I hate to disagree, homeboy. All right. I mean, let's be honest here. Let's be honest. She beat the Raw Women's Champion.
She did not beat her.
And she just beat
the
Queen.
I do not consider that a beat.
A victory
just because
is a victory.
The clock beat them.
It's in the record books.
The clock beat them.
In the record books that Nikki has defeated Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. She should be next in line.
The books should say
period, end of story.
Clock defeated.
Rhea Ripley versus Nikki Cross for the Raw Women's Champion at Hell.
That would be the most boringest, dumb, little, shortest match ever. It would be like the time they had Shayna Baszler in there.
Speak on it, Quantaven.
Like sitting there.
Speak on it. I'm just saying, don't hate us like you hate on Bro.
That's different. I think Bro is talented. I am not endeared to his personality.
Okay.
Nikki's a monkey? What was that?
That's what she does.
She's a monkey?
Oh my gosh.
Is that what we're doing?
Let's jump. Let's switch gears a little bit. Let's go, like I was saying, former WWE superstars. If anybody caught AEW's Double or Nothing, we saw the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, has made his AEW premiere. Not only that, okay, but the 25-year-old piece of gold, Lio Rush. Okay? He is in the
He's
house.
probably not 25 anymore.
Maybe 26. Point being that I was reading a little bit of what Tony Khan was saying. So he hasn't really put ink to paper on Lio Rush. They have a handshake deal. So he'll appear on AEW. He'll do New Japan. So we're going to see a lot more of this. We're seeing if anybody's familiar with the old school Monday Night Wars with WCW, this happened all the time. All these WWE superstars all of a sudden on WCW,
Yeah.
and they kicked butt for a year and a half. Kicked butt, number one in the ratings. My question is, AEW is literally doing the same thing, right? Some younger superstars, some older superstars like Sting, Paul White, whatever. Is this going to fade? This is my question to you. Is this going to fade like it did with WCW and peter out, and WWE is just going to wait it out? Or is WWE legitimately in trouble as far as that goes?
I don't know about saying if they're in trouble. I don't think that we're going to get back to the era where only one wrestling show can dominate. I think that we've passed that era. I think that AEW has opened the door to have healthy competition, and that you don't have to choose one or the other. There are people who feel like you have to be WWE, you have to be AEW, TNT. That doesn't make sense to me. We are not fans of just the McMahons or just the Rhodes or Tony Khan. We are fans of professional wrestling and that entertainment business as a whole. And it's not even fair to the wrestlers themselves when we are only dedicated to them or faithful to them if they're on one brand or another. I don't see that. I hopefully that's going to go away. WWE thinking that they should be the only dominant wrestling company that doesn't make sense to me. It's very narcissistic. Why can't you have healthy competition like everybody else?
I'm all for healthy competition. I think it's good. I think it's good for the industry. I'm just saying one of the things that, because I remember what it was like in those Monday Night Wars. I mean, it was real. They were fighting for their very existence. The difference that I'm seeing now versus then is I don't feel like WWE is putting out that it's do or die product. They put on a show which made the Attitude Era what it is. Like, this could be our last show. So we are going to throw everything and the kitchen sink into this and give these people a dynamite show. I still feel like they're kind of playing it safe. And you're not going to win like that.
The contract clause that they have now, even if we terminate you if you quit or whatever, you cannot go anywhere, for, what is it? How many months?
90 days. No,
90 days, 3
yeah.
months. So you're not necessarily going to have the differences back then. You could have someone on, WWE in the morning, and then, like the very next or the same night you could have them, right? Sometimes it was the same day be on both shows. So that we're not going to see because they have secured their contracts in such a way where you cannot have that.
No, you're right, Shayla. Roman wasn't pretty much anything as far as featured last week, but his impact was still felt. And that's what I'm saying. Like, he has this, you can see he's all in Jay's head, living in Jay's head. And Jay's just like, am I going to betray my brother? Is he going to betray his brother?
Oh, poor Jada. Oh.
Family is family, but are you legitimately telling me you're going to do this just to get him to fall in line? I don't know.
Marcus had a question about.
I don't know.
Go back to Marcus. He asked something about if Umaga was still around, I think.
This one here?
No.
A little further down.
I thought I saw him ask something about if Umaga was still
He's
around.
all about presence. Yeah, he's all about presence. You know what? I would love to see Pac versus Lio Rush. I would love to see that too, Hunter. I think Pac would win just because once he gets his hands on you, he devastates you, but he'd have to catch him. And Lio Rush is fast. He is fast. He is good. I'm a fan of Leo Rush, and I hated to see him leave, but I think he's in a much better place. I'm saying that he's in a much better place.
Marcus Brown, can you put your I saw the corner of my eye, but we were in the middle of another subject, so I didn't want to cut off what we were saying, that you asked something about Umaga, and if Umaga, I think you said something like if Umaga was still here, if he would be the champ.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, never mind, we found it.
So if everyone else, including Aaliyah, chill, everybody answered. So Umaga as IC champ if still alive. The Tribal Chief is Universal Champ. The Usos as Tag Team Champs. Tamina and Naomi or Nia Jax. I mean,
well, Umaga was the older brother, so wouldn't that make him the Tribal Chief? Ooh, dun dun dun!
All day,
all day,
all day. This is what I'm saying. You would bring in the like.
Well, that's exactly our point. Is that it's the missed opportunity on this dynasty is insane to us. This dynasty runs deep, and it runs deep in your product that you have right now, and you're not utilizing it. And there was no reason when Tamina, I mean, when Nia Jax returned, there was no reason to not put her back with Tamina. It's so interesting to me, if you've ever noticed when people go out with an injury, like how even when the bar broke up and everything, like if it's a tag team situation, they'll break up the tag team. I don't think I've ever seen them just reunite them after the person is healed. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, well, you know, life goes on. Even though it was successful, now that you're healed, we can't do that again. Of course you can.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, Tamara says if Jimmy versus Jay in Hell in a Cell, Jimmy beats Jay to where Roman will get mad for Jay. I mean, what else is new? How many times has Roman got mad at Jay for failing to represent the family? I don't want to see it, but I think it's about what's going to happen. It has to happen in order for this to come full circle. It has to happen. Come on now. She's really conflicted by this. I know you're conflicted by this. This has got to go down. So, do we think Brock Lesnar will return to SummerSlam?
You know, I mean, Brock Lesnar is not under contract with WWE right now, from what I understand, and I feel like if they are done with the Bobby Lashley and Drew after this, that might be worth it, because who doesn't want to see Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, right? Like,
I mean, Bobby's on top of his game, right? He needs legitimate competition. If at Hell in a Cell he retains, if Drew really is going to get defeated cleanly, call it a day, I can definitely see Brock Lesnar returning and being that competition that he needs.
Well, what really sucks is that the person we thought was going to be that competition for him was instead injured by him and has been out ever since. And I don't know why. Does anybody understand why Keith Lee has been gone for so long?
We know he's been nursing. He had an injury of some sort.
But it wasn't like a massive injury from my understanding. And I think
it's got to be repackaged.
It doesn't seem like he's out still on injury.
I mean...
And I saw him, he did a Twitter, and I mean, I'm not exactly sure, but basically he was like, thank you for your support and encouraging words. Everything will be explained in time. That doesn't sound like I'm out injured.
Not really. Not really. A and B, everyone else, The Rock in his prime versus the Tribal Chief, who wins? You know, that's a tough call.
That is really a tough call.
They wrestle differently, but I'm going to say ego is going to win out on this, and The Rock's ego is slightly bigger. So I will say if this is just them facing each other, I'm going to go The Rock.
Okay, the reason that I think I'll have to back you, I almost want to say a tie. I've seen both of these men live, and only one of them has the electricity to like.
If you smell what The Rock, the real Tribal Chief, which my friends, they will face each other. I'm calling it now. Los Angeles, WrestleMania next year.
Yeah, I see that happening too.
Or the year after. Wait, no. Year after next?
No, it would be next year. This year. So this year. Oh, we already had WrestleMania.
Yeah, the year after next.
The year after
Whenever
next.
it comes to Los Angeles,
2023.
that's when it's going to happen. That's when it's going to happen.
Yeah, 2023.
Okay, point blank, period. The Usos will never fight each other. They will team with each other. That would be great. That would be great. But you see it. Jay's conflicted about turning on his brother. I hope we see a few with Usos and Street Profits.
And you know what I noticed too is that what they're doing kind of is like they're saying that the you know how in the beginning where Jay was just like, thanks, man, and Roman like is behind his back kind of like, you know, making looks, and you're like, wait, what's going on, right? Jimmy is just like, yeah, dude, we got this, we're that, yeah, like he doesn't seem to be seeing the conflict. He's just like, come on, man, like we're brothers, that's it, this is us.
There is no conflict.
It doesn't occur to Jimmy that Jay would turn on him. That's not even an option. So like, I would be so heartbroken for Jimmy.
Prepare to be heartbroken. Because that's how it's going down.
That's
It's
not
going
nice.
down like a sweet muffin.
That's not nice.
That's how it's
going
down.
down like a sweet muffin.
Thank you, Morris Reigns. We really appreciate that. Nadia says that Becky Lynch will return at Hell in a Cell. Do we see that happening? And do we care if it does happen?
Bone crusher.
That's my question.
You know what? I just hope that she, first of all,
Do we want to see the man?
Becky Lynch is a great presence. She's great on the microphone. I love her whole theme. Just need her to step up her game in the ring. That's it.
Maybe she did. I mean, she's training. She's
right.
She's got.
So I'm
She's
just
lost the
hoping
baby
that
weight.
she did. I hope that she does. I hope that she comes back.
So basically, whoever wins between Rhea and Charlotte, boom, hit the man's music. The challenge.
No, because why does she get to just walk in and just go to this front of the line?
That's
because
how it goes.
Oh, you're right. No, but she did walk away from the title, so she's going to come back and want
Never
the title
lost
back.
it.
Right.
Never lost it.
Yes.
And I think if they're going to really be making Rhea like the top dog, then she will probably beat Charlotte. Because why else would you not have Charlotte be out of the picture? Then you have Rhea and Becky Lynch, SummerSlam. That's how you build it. That is how you build it up.
I don't think Becky Lynch could beat Rhea. She would really, really have to be working her ass off.
Wow.
I feel like Charlotte is the only person who could beat Rhea.
What?
I don't see another woman in there that could beat Rhea. Rhea is, until Raquel Gonzalez comes up, who do you see that could beat Rhea Ripley?
Oh, snap. Well, there's always Nikki. There's always Nikki. Why do you hate on Nikki? Okay, that's fine. We won't talk about that. Ray and Eddie versus Usos. Ooh, my goodness, Shayla. You done did it now.
You done did it now.
You done did it now.
Talk
You
about
just-
some flying and flipping and...
Ray and Eddie. Why? Because he lies. He cheats. He steals. Have you seen Eddie Guerrero in his prime? Oh, please. Oh, man. Come on. Usos don't want that smoke, son.
Oh,
man.
That would be a good fight.
That would be insane. Marcus Brown. What do we got over here? Y'all know Seth Rollins has his own wrestling training building, and he also has a coffee shop. Oh, man. That actually is kind of cool. Maybe, just maybe, he's drinking a little too much coffee when he buys his outfits. Because, wow. Is that the vision that we're supposed to be embracing? Because he looked like a couch cover from the Golden Girls set.
You know what he reminds me of? You remember when they used to have those little things when we were kids that you could like turn and all the different things will make all the different colors and it's all these triangles and stuff? He's like looking into some psychedelic something.
Seth Rollins eats a lot of pizza. That's hilarious. Yeah, he does. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. All in all, I will say that Raw was a little better this week. It needs to tighten the ship up a little bit, especially if they expect to continue to compete against the new WCW, if you will. I just feel like, once again, Raw needs to cut it down to 2 hours. 3 hours is, you don't need, there's no reason to do that. And just tighten up on the writing and get back to that. We are in this for our very survival.
Right.
This is how you have good writing. Just like with this pandemic, out of necessity comes invention.
Right.
So you guys right now are in a situation where you feel like you're at the top of the mountain and and AEW is not a threat, but you've already seen this influx of people coming over here, and they're doing well. Mm-hmm. They are thriving.
And I think the Big Show was the biggest. I mean, think about. I know that that's kind of old news, but here's the thing about that: like they had given Big Show a show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They had him. He was like an ambassador. He would go travel for them. It wasn't like he was. I don't think a lot of people understand that him and Mark Henry, they weren't just retired sitting at home. They still were active behind scenes in WWE, and they were still actively working with WWE. They just weren't in ring performing. And so they did leave their jobs there. It wasn't like they were at home retired and then went and did this because they weren't doing anything better. They left an active position to go there.
Yeah, this is true. We have one question from Dro. If there was a no-holds-barred ladder match between Roman Reigns and The Rock at WrestleMania, who's winning on that? I'm going with The Rock. Because The Rock comes from the Attitude Era. He comes from a different era. He's a different breed of wrestler. Not to say that Roman isn't good. Not to say that his submissions aren't good. But I'm going The Rock all day. Attitude Era, we reacted that, which we're about to drop volume 10. So keep an eye out. 100 most holy crap moments of WWE. Different era, different breed of wrestler.
Yeah.
All day. Shayla says Seth dresses for his baby girl. He says, one thing for sure, he'll never mistake Roman for a day. Yeah. You cannot miss Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Terrence Shea. So, yeah, Dr. Britt Baker. I mean.
Oh, my gosh, versus
Could
Charlotte.
you imagine?
Oh, my gosh.
Could you imagine? First off, congratulations to Dr. Britt Baker. Well-earned, well-deserved new AEW Women's Champion. She did much of nothing over here in WWE. And WWE posts a squash match with her and Nia Jax. And then here she goes right over here on AEW, runs through the competition, gets her face bloody. I mean, whatever the case may be. I'm a fan.
That hardcore match she did. You can't not be a fan after that match. That was the craziest hardcore match
Women's.
ever. I'm a fan. Just even in general, it was up there with the craziest hardcore matches ever, and their women. It was insane. You can't not be a fan of hers, and she completely deserved that title. Completely deserved it.
Seth Rollins, I would be looking ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Tessa Blanchard. I'm wondering when Tessa Blanchard from Impact will show up into a promotion. You know what? I'd almost say any day now. Oh, and you're right, Quantaven. Finally, a match where the women bleed. We see it very rarely. We even see it so much more rarely when they sweat. We rarely see these ladies break a sweat.
Yeah.
In WWE.
Right.
Sometimes kind of sort of in AEW. But Britt Baker, she's not afraid to sweat. She's not afraid to bleed. Mm-hmm. She's not afraid to put in that work.
The women bring it more consistently on AEW. The women on AEW fight more like the women on NXT. Because the women on NXT will bring it too. And the women who are in WWE now used to bring it in NXT. I don't know what happens that they get up on the main roster and then they're like, okay, we're going to need you to water all that down. We don't really touch each other here, like on the main roster.
Now, here's a good question from Tamira. China or Raquel Gonzalez? Now, are we talking when she first premiered China?
Are you about Dude China? Because Dude China.
Like, kind of, she was still.
China still. Dude.
China,
man. Come on.
When she first got there, she had that jaw. Please. She was ragdolling dudes. And oh, man. That would be so. Oh, my gosh.
Crazy.
Oh, man. That's a tough one. But I got to go China. I got to go China because, again, different era. It was just a little bit tougher, a little bit grittier. China. Man. These are some good questions. How do y'all feel with Keisha getting involved with the Usos? If they're smart, they would do it.
That's all bloodline. There's no reason.
If they're smart, they would do it.
And I saw someone else asked about bringing the younger brother. I think they said his name is Jacob. I'm not sure, but I mean, I don't know why he's not with WWE. I think that's by choice because I can't imagine the WWE would turn away a Fatu. So, but yeah, I would love that. He needs to come over.
There was one question here. Hold on, right here. Oh yeah. So Alexa says that we love to see Jeff Hardy with some gold. We would love that too. If anything, he should be going for either the United States Championship, maybe the IC title, but he's been, I don't know.
He's been putting people over. I feel like right before they brought Dominica, we were talking about how they were just using Rey Mysterio to put people over, right? Like that's what he had become. That's what Jeff Hardy has become now. They use Jeff Hardy to put people over. So since he had that last match, he had was it with AJ when he had an actual fight? No, it was with Elias. Elias was the last one. Since then, he only shows up to lose. He's just there to like a jobber.
Kind of stinks.
It really does.
I'll tell you what's interesting. Quantaven asked about Eva Marie, thinking that she would prove everybody wrong. The question is, what is it going to be? This is it. We don't know what this evolution is supposed to be, and they're making it seem like she's going to be some kind of a motivational thing. It's for me, it's like Carmella. Like you make this whole big thing for weeks and weeks and weeks, just for it to be much of nothing.
Here's my thing. I have no idea what they're going to do. They do it every time they try to bring a girl away and bring her back and do whatever. They tried to do it Liv for a minute, and then she went right back into Riot Squad. I'm not really understanding why Carmella is having such a hard time. Carmella kicks ass when she goes out there. She's one of the better female wrestlers. Carmella breaks a sweat. She's not afraid to hit somebody. She's not afraid to take a hit. So I don't know why she is just not succeeding.
Main roster writers don't know what to do.
And as soon as they give her a chance, she's out there trying to prove something, but they're not letting her win. I don't know what are they going to do with Eva Marie?
We don't even know.
I don't know. It's hard to speak on it until we actually see her in action.
Now they ask if Aleister Black challenged Apollo Crews for the IC title at Hell in a Cell or SummerSlam. I think more than anything, it'd probably be a SummerSlam. I don't think it'd be a Hell in a Cell. It should be because he's dark. It would be awesome.
Right. It would be.
And I think they would have that real ability. That's the one thing I will say for the end of the Thunderdome era is that they have this ability, which they've used to some degree, but because there's no live fans, you can really do, like with the zombie match, love it or hate it, they really wouldn't have been able to get away with that like they did if they had live fans there.
Yeah.
So now's the time to really utilize this Thunderdome for what it's worth before it's all gone. But I don't know.
Well, that seems a little too soon for me. I think that Aleister is going to want to kind of play some games for a while, I would think. But
Eddie Guerrero versus Daniel Bryan 2014. Eddie all day. All day. Mm-hmm. Come on, Marcus. You already know. Yeah, Quantaven. We that's how we feel about Eva Marie. We got to see. We got to see. Do you wish WWE brought back WWE Revolution where it's only girls?
No, because that didn't work. So, and my thing is that I see people still giving WWE a hard time about not pushing the women as much. But when they gave them an all-women's pay-per-view,
it was okay.
It was okay. It was okay.
It was okay.
It was not all that. And the women still, until the main roster's women, for whatever reason it is, bring it, like the women of NXT and AEW, we're never going to get back there.
And that's it. That's all we want to see. We don't want to rag on anybody. So don't get us wrong. When you see our videos and we talk about this, that, the other thing, this is not about ragging. We know wrestling is tough. We are not professional wrestlers. We are not on the road 300 days out of the year. We know that this is not for everybody. But when you do step into that ring and you lace up those boots and that bell rings, you bring the heat. It's just like going to Vegas and seeing a magic show. I don't want to see strings attached to the bunny. I don't want to know how you made the Statue of Liberty disappear. Just put on a good show and wow us. That's it.
At least while the camera's on. I mean, there are shows on the road where maybe you could get away with some of that stuff. When you have cameras on you at different angles, come on, man.
No, you just can't do it. And that's all we're saying. So we know there are plenty of botches. We've seen plenty of guys botch moves all the time. But we don't want to see a slow motion match. We don't want to see somebody like Nia pick up Natalya and just gently lay her down like a baby. We can see this.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make any sense. So, but then you go to NXT and you see these ladies going all over the place doing ladder matches. Come on, man.
Yeah.
No, you got to do better. I want to see a Britt Baker level-esque NXT Asuka.
Well, we don't expect them to bring okay, we don't expect them to have hardcore fights all the time.
No, of course not.
We're not expecting that. But we do expect you to bring it to another level. We expect you to be putting your body on the line. That is
Connect
what
with
this
your moves.
is doing.
Don't be punching. Yeah. Don't be punching like this and expect us to believe that this person's really hurt. And you're punching the shoulder, and then Natty goes to the nose. That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying.
It's not that hard to actually react to where the person hits you. Even if they didn't hit you that hard. I hit you in your knee. Ow, my knee, not my nose. Like
that's all we're saying.
You know.
That's all we're saying. Roman Reigns, versus Adam Cole. Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Adam Cole is nowhere near his level.
Yeah.
Nowhere near. Thank you, Roland. We appreciate that love and support. The Hardys in their prime versus the Usos. Gotta go to Hardys on that one. Marcus Brown had that question. Gotta go to Hardys for me.
Yeah, I'm such a Hardys fan, dude. It's so hard because the one thing about the Usos is that you don't really consider them like hardcore. Like Hardys.
They can step it up when they want to, but
yeah, but I mean ladder matches and stuff like that, like
put it on the map.
Yeah, man. I mean, because they're adrenaline junkies, so then they perform. The adrenaline junkies perform in a different way to me.
For sure, they've wrestled injured. Matt can't even stand. He can't even bend. He stands up straight. He can barely move, but yet he's still wrestling. So, Nadia, did you see Elias when he left Jackson Riker? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, it seems a little soon. But I mean, they kind of were thrown together right there, weren't they?
Yeah, kind of. And now what's going to happen with Jackson Riker? Because honestly, with the controversy that happened, we were surprised to see him back in the first place. Didn't really have much of anything except to be connected with Elias, and now that's over. So is it back to catering for Jackson Riker? I mean, what are we talking about here?
Go back to catering.
Manu, who do you think will win between Randy Orton and Stone Cold? Such a tough call.
Yeah.
Such a tough call. It would go back and forth. Because Stone Cold was the kind of guy, he would never, you couldn't tap him out. He would sooner pass out. You remember that match he had with Bret Hart? They're both tough as nails. You got a rattlesnake and a viper. I can't even call it.
Yeah, I think it would be one of those long battles that would go back and forth. I don't think it would be a one and done thing. I think sometimes Stone Cold would win and sometimes Randy would win.
Here's an interesting question from Marcus. Heel Roman Reigns 2021 versus Shield Roman Reigns. You know it's got to be heel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Nah, man, the guillotine.
It's a whole new Roman Reigns.
Yeah, it's a whole new Roman Reigns.
It's a whole new Roman Reigns.
Vicious new.
So it is.
I feel like maybe he got some like when he beat cancer, like maybe he got some superpowers or something like that. Because he came back crazy strong.
And I'm calling you out right now, Shayla. There's your comment for the world to see. You know, it's all love. We love to hate, we hate to love, but it's still all love. All right. I acknowledge your boy.
It is all love.
I acknowledge your boy. Marcus Brown, punt kicking. Oh gosh. Hunt kicking legend killer versus Scottish psychopath Drew McIntyre. It's Orton all day for me.
You think so?
It's all day.
I don't know. I feel like Drew is so brutal now. Like I think that would probably go back and forth too. Like maybe, I don't know. I feel like, to be honest with you, after Drew and Sheamus had their matches, I really see Drew on a whole nother level now. Like they just took it somewhere, man. They took it somewhere else. And even his matches against Bobby, like, he's strong, but he could also take a hit. Like the thing about Brock Lesnar is he's strong as hell, but he can't go long and he can't take a lot of hits back. You know what I mean? He just needs to get you fast and in the beginning. And once you start going a couple rounds, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, you know, I'm a huge fan of Brandy's, but I don't know. But I'd love to see it.
Here's a good question. Who do you think should have new designs for the WWE Championships from Jody Bennett?
Who should have new designs?
I'm going to tell you right now. For me,
I already know the tag team championship belts. The men's.
They suck.
They're ugly. They're fugly, actually.
Fugly is the word.
Yeah.
Fugly is the word.
It doesn't make any kind of sense. And the new U.S. title belt is.
We did a video on that.
It's just atrocious too. Don't like it at all.
Yeah, when they first premiered it, and from certain angles, if anybody remembers Clash of the Titans, the original Clash of the Titans, there's this gold owl, and that's exactly what that eagle looks like. It looks like just a giant gold owl.
Yeah, I thought it was an owl at first. I couldn't even tell that it was an eagle, and I'm like, oh, I'm looking at it wrong. Hold on. It was like one of those pictures where you look at a different angle, it looks like something different.
Yeah, it is. They are a mess, and they have to be changed immediately. And from what I'm read, there is a new design for both of them. Why they haven't premiered yet, I don't know.
And then they unveiled the women's tag team belts on NXT, and they were beautiful, great design,
much better, and everything falls in line with the same kind of style on NXT, except for the North American title. But everything else, and over here, it's just a hodgepodge of, that's my answer for that. Legend killer all day. Yeah, we feel you. Thank you, brother Nero. Better late than never. Come on in, brother Nero. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, brother Nero, we've missed you. We haven't seen you in a little bit. Good to see you.
Tag belt and Roman needs more pizzazz. Yep.
I saw somebody ask a question about Sasha Banks. Why is Sasha Banks MIA? Can somebody tell me?
I say she will be back at Hell in a Cell or after Hell in a Cell.
Well, that's what someone else was saying. Is she going to come back to challenge Bianca? Well, first of all, she should have had to challenge back, right?
She definitely needs a rematch.
A rematch.
But, truth be told, it's not like, we love Bianca, but it's not like her push right now has been, like, she's had this great push to be champion, and now just kind of cooled off a little bit.
I like her battle with Bayley. First of all,
it was good, but I'm saying it just kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, they shouldn't have. I don't know where Sasha went to. Sasha should have did the rematch thing. There should have been that. That's how that works. So I'm unclear as to why that didn't happen and why they didn't get a match at WrestleMania Backlash. That should have just naturally happened. Yeah. So I'm confused about where Sasha is and all of that. But because Bayley and Bianca are going at it, Bayley's doing so good as a heel, love her so much better as a heel, that I would love for it to turn into a triple threat. And wherever Sasha is, she comes back. And to see Bayley versus Sasha versus Bianca, I would love that.
Okay, well, here we go. First of all, we have Shawn Michaels versus AJ Styles. Shawn Michaels. AJ's good.
Y'all don't even know. Love some Shawn Michaels.
AJ's excellent. The Heartbreak Kid. All day. We're talking about not like rocker Shawn Michaels.
No.
Not latter day Shawn Michaels. We're talking in that meaty part when he was Diesel Shawn Michaels. That Shawn Michaels. This question from Marcus Brown. Speaking of the women. Awesome Kong. If you remember her. If anybody remembers Awesome Kong, look her up. WWE. What WWE Women's Superstar on the current roster y'all would like to see her face? Bayley, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair, because as Austin Khan was such a big person, like she was so solid that you need someone who is going to be able to actually match strength with her and maybe pick her up. And I feel like out of everyone that you just mentioned, Bianca's the only one that could do that. Now, I don't know what happened with AEW, because when Kong went over to AEW, they had this whole thing with her and Brandy Rhodes, and she was crazy, and she was cutting people's hair off and keeping locks of their hair, and that just went away too.
Yeah, they turned it up and they dialed it back down.
But I don't know. So does that have to do with Kong, where she came here and as soon as she got her debut, she I
think she got pregnant.
She got pregnant,
she disappeared. So she was here for like a minute.
Right. And then she came back and it didn't work, right? Didn't they try to bring her back for a minute?
Yeah.
And it didn't work? And then she debuted at AEW. And I mean, they have you out there with Cody Rhodes' wife, and you're trying to be scary, and then you just went away. It just went away.
Sean says hair versus hair match, SummerSlam, Bianca versus Sasha. Well, first of all, we're talking extension versus extension match is what we're talking about.
Well, here's the difference. Bianca has her braided in very well.
She does hair.
If you start your braid up here and then you braid the hair in, I mean, it's not coming off. Sasha, whoever hooks up Sasha's weaves, her weaves are constantly slipping. So they would actually have to give Sasha the same long braid that's solid like that.
Shayna Baszler versus Kong, Charlotte versus Kong. Oh gosh.
Charlotte versus Kong, I still go for Charlotte. Shayna, I just don't have any confidence in Shayna that
gotta go for Kong on that one.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, I was really excited when Shayna was coming up. I thought she was gonna do some things, but
it hasn't happened. Manu asked who would win between the Undertaker and the Fiend. Prime Taker.
The fact that they did not see the need to pass that torch. I understand that they had Mankind pass the torch. That wasn't the same. Mankind and the Fiend weren't really the same. The Undertaker and the Fiend are supposed to be the same. So that was a torch that should have been passed. But Prime Undertaker versus the Fiend, it would be the Undertaker. And do you know why? Because the Undertaker was undefeated until he was an old man. The Fiend, they ruined so early on that you'd never had that same phenom, the same, that he's untouchable, that he's unbeatable. We never had that because WWE stole that from us with their whack house writing. Stole it.
Oh geez. Leo too saucy. Would you like to see Dominic versus Roman Reigns? All of you want to see a killing.
Dominic, let me tell you.
Dominic is good, but
Dominic has got some growing to do, right? He's new. You could tell he's new. He's good, and he's going to have a great future, and I'm sure he'll be skilled enough to face him one day.
Oh God!
But right now, he's just too young for that.
Oh man, he growing up Roman growing up real fast, and not in a good way. So, speaking with Shayna, thoughts on the next week's match? I don't know. I don't know.
It's tough to choose between Michaels and Styles for me, but phenomenal forearm into sweet chin music would be an awesome end. Yeah, man.
The phenomenal forearm is devastating. Okay?
Yeah.
When that elevation he gets, and when he comes down, he lands it. Come on, dude. He's knocking everybody out. But that sweet chin music, please. He's been playing that tune long before AJ Styles was.
But that's why the Usos are so deadly too.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the Usos, like you saw the other day, he was just waiting you don't even have to stand all the way up. I will adjust my kick to your chin from any angle that you are.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they got that kick down too is why they're so dominant.
Jody did ask a question. If we were at WWE, which storyline and rivals do you want to change? So this is probably good. We'll probably end with this.
Yeah.
probably end with this. What would we want to see? What do we want to change?
Well, first of all, I would bring back Little Jimmy.
For sure.
Little Jimmy was one of the best things
For sure.
that they had with R-Truth. But I feel like, to be honest with you, I would figure out, I would turn Damian Priest heel. I said that backwards.
Mm-hmm.
I would turn Damian Priest heel, and I would somehow have a storyline between him and Orton.
Okay.
I really would. I mean, I know they can't do it now that Randy is in the thing, but this is imaginary. So I would have somehow made that happen. That would have been something I would have really liked to see. Obviously, the Fiend would be there. He would never have lost. He would have a winning streak that was, from the grave, that was beyond RKOs and all that. What would you do?
First off, I would just call Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville what they are, the general managers. Okay.
Stop playing with the names.
Stop playing with the names. Okay. Bring back the general managers. Bring back Teddy Long to SmackDown. Who doesn't love Teddy Long, player? Okay. Just call it what it is. I would do that. Number one. Number two, I would change some designs on those belts immediately. If I got in there, immediate change to belts. We would go back to that number one contenders bit. Okay, you are now number one contender, especially with the IC champion. That's how it used to be. You're an IC champ, you're next in line for the heavyweight championship. Point blank, period. Number three, and this is probably going to be more important because they kind of played with the whole rematch clause, and I didn't get my rematch, and that kind of went away. I would definitely bring back the rematch clause, but the most important thing I would do for change overall is this brand business. I'm fine with Raw, and I'm fine with SmackDown, I'm fine with NXT. But the same rivalries go in the same rivalries on the same brands week after week. It's just gotten old.
Right.
And we want to see some brand stuff happening more than a couple times a year. So I would go ahead and just wipe that off the map. Fine, you're Raw, you're SmackDown, but you know what? Come on over. Come on over. You want to pick a fight? Come on over.
Yeah.
I would probably make that so we have some legitimate, fresh matches.
So you can mix it up.
We need it.
And most importantly, we would bring the Bloodline story full circle. The entire dynasty would be together. We would have Rikishi come. There would be a whole ceremony when everybody got on board. You would have Roman with the titles. You would have the Usos with the titles. You would have Tamina and Nia with the titles. It would be a dynasty.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need. Take advantage of this. Just like you did with Jinder Mahal when he was champion. It was fantastic. And just embrace it. I mean, really, truly embrace it. But also, don't just throw out these storylines.
Right.
Just to have them disappear into the ethers of the universe like it never happened.
Right.
We remember this. We see this. So don't just do something and then drop it and expect us to forget about it. Like, you get us invested in something, stay invested in it and see it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Joe, honestly, Roman Reigns challenging who would step up for. There are so many people at this point. I think Brock would probably be the best one to go for. Yeah, Brother Nero, they ruined the Fiend. But we also know the Fiend, I mean, we know Bray's got some stuff going on in his personal life. So it's been a little tough, and Alexa kind of had to pick up the slack. Mm-hmm. So, it kind of sucks.
And you know what? Let's see what they do with Alexa next week with Shayna. I really hope that that's a match, and that it's a scary, creepy match, and that it really showcases Alexa in a way to really scare some more of the women.
The Shield in their prime versus the Usos. Well, the Shield was 3, and Roman ain't helping the Usos, so I'm going with the Shield.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Shield. Okay. So listen, we really wanted to just come on here, talk a little bit of wrestling, but we really wanted to just thank everybody.
Thank you.
So everybody that has, that's in the chat right now, everybody that watches the videos, we have just the most wonderful supportive, loyal fans, watchers. You're fans like us of professional wrestling, and you want to see professional wrestling be better. And we want to do better every single time we do our videos for all of you. And you help us do that by watching, supporting, and commenting. We will get to the comments. We have a lot more comments we have to get to in the videos. We apologize. We've had a lot of stuff going on the past week.
We have some raw reactions to drop
as well, so just bear with us. But honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, when we split our channels and we really focused on this one a year ago, I told her, I said, I don't know. We have some established stuff over here. I don't know if this is a good idea.
We started from ground zero.
Trust me. And if you see our growth, if you see our first videos, it's a little rough, it's a little cringy. But, you know, we've come up.
A little rough around the edges.
And it could not have happened, honestly, without all of you. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
Thank you. We have so much further to go. And trust me when I tell you, you guys will be there with us every step of the way. We are not going to just be like, oh, you know, we think our stuff don't stink. We are well aware. We know who is with us and who supported us from the beginning, and we're not going to forget you. And I hope we get to a point where, you know, as we start to travel and attend these live shows and go to WrestleManias and bring you guys with us, where we could really continue to incorporate you guys into as much live stuff as we do as possible. That is our goal. It's for all of us to take this journey together. So thank you.
Thank you, Dro, for that information. Brother Nero, we can't thank you enough. Shayla is out. Thank you, Shayla.
Bye, Shayla. Mwah.
For always hating on me, but I appreciate it because I know it's all love. Baby Rhea 87, Roland, Mary, Aaliyah, Alexis, Saren X Anime, John Elite, CJ, everybody who we did not get to mention personally. Thank you so very, very much for coming back and sticking with A and B Convos Wrestling Edition.
Wait, let me just answer one more question. I hope they are just holding off on the bloodline thing until the crowds come back. That I could see that. If anything, they're holding off and the crowds come back and then they want to do the whole bloodline thing. Whenever they do it, we'll be happy. We just want them to do it.
I'm not holding my breath.
We hope so.
But we will see. But we're excited for the crowds to come back. We're excited to get back on the road to see these shows live and bringing you that content.
Yep.
And, so right now, we got some editing to do. We got some content to bring you guys. So that is it for us. Thank you. We love you. And we will definitely be catching you all
down the road.
Thank you, guys. Good night, everybody.